Angie from the Squishy Monster, and today we're going to do something really special. We're going to do s'mores cupcakes. And this will be very reminiscent of whether you're in Boy Scouts or you went camping when you were younger, or even if this was something that you did by your fireplace at home. This is very reminiscent of that, but it's kind of grown up and sophisticated. So what we're going to do is basically just have, in a cupcake liner, we're going to layer this beautiful whole thing together. It's going to be a bottom layer of graham cracker crust, and then we're going to bake off deep dark chocolate cake, and then when they're cooled off, we're going to dip the whole crown in chocolate ganache, and then we're going to pipe with marshmallow frosting, and then we're going to go ahead and sprinkle more crushed graham crackers on top and drizzle the whole thing with more chocolate ganache. So for the graham cracker crust, you're going to need just crushed graham crackers, some sugar, and some butter, and we're going to go ahead and cook that off, or just melt the butter basically, and press it just like for the cheesecake that we did onto the bottom of our cupcake liners. And then for the ganache, you're just going to need some heavy whipping cream or heavy cream and some semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then for the frosting, you're going to need some fluff. And you can also use just regular marshmallows if you feel weird about the fluff. And you're going to need some butter and some sugar, some powdered sugar. So for the chocolate cake, you're going to need that same chocolate recipe, the same chocolate cake recipe I did for my very first video. So apologies because I was super nervous and I was using an antiquated camera, but it'll also be featured on my blog, thesquishymonster.com. And back here is my chocolate sauce. Basically, I'm going to bloom that deep, dark, intense chocolate flavor with some hot water to go ahead and bloom that flavor. And it's just some sugars, some cocoa powder, some really nice quality cocoa powder, and some water. And this would be my dry ingredients bowl. This is my flour, my salt, my baking powder, my baking soda. And here I have my thick, creamy, tangy buttermilk, as well as my canola oil or veggie oil, whatever one you have or want to use. My 2 eggs and vanilla, of course. So let's get started. So when you have your graham cracker mixture ready, just take a little spoon, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but just make a little bottom layer like that, and either with the back of your spoon press it down, or you can take your fingers and just press it down like so. And you're going to do this until you fill all of your little cupcake tins with the bottom layer of a graham cracker crust. So while my little graham cracker crusts, the little mini ones, are in the oven baking off, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my chocolate sauce and then the rest of my chocolate cake. So right here I just have the cocoa powder and the sugar. You want to slowly pour in your hot water, and then you want to blend those together. And then while it's still warm, I want to put in just a little bit of instant coffee, or you can use espresso powder, whatever you have. Go ahead and blend that up together too. Then go ahead and slowly stream in your oil and your buttermilk. Then you want to slowly stream in your egg, just a little bit at a time. Then your vanilla. Go ahead and put your softened your butter. And then go ahead and on low speed, just go ahead and cream it until it's light and fluffy. Slowly pour in your powdered sugar. And you don't want to dump it in all at once. You want to go ahead and layer it in. So after your sugar and your butter have come together, you want to start spooning in your fluff. And you're going to use, depending on the consistency that you're trying to achieve, you're going to use about half to a full 7-ounce container of it. And I usually use all of it. So go ahead and start with half and blend it up and see if you like that consistency. So when your crusts have completely cooled, you want to go ahead and fill them with your chocolate batter, just like that. So my oven is preheating, and I'm going to bake these off, and when they're completely cooled, I'll show you what I do with them. So my cupcakes are cool now, and I went ahead and melted my semi-sweet chocolate and my heavy cream together to make that ganache. And I'm just going to put some finishing touches on it. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little tiny pinch of some salt, smoked salt, or some gray salt would be really nice in this. You want to stir that, and I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of rum in it as well, just to go ahead and flavor it up, just another layer. It is not necessary at all, so if you don't want to add these things, you don't have to. So what you're going to want to do is just take a cooled cupcake and then dip the crowns in the ganache, just like so. So kind of just twist, use a very light hand, twist it off. There you go. So just like this would be a delicious treat, just like so. But we're gonna go ahead and pipe that marshmallow frosting that we took the time to make, and then drizzle with more ganache and sprinkle with crushed graham crackers. So before I go ahead and pipe my marshmallow frosting on my ganached cupcakes, I want to go ahead and just prepare all of my toppings. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and caramelize just some burnt sugar. I'm just going to put caramelized burnt sugar on top because the marshmallow frosting will melt. So this is a nice way to achieve that crunch. So go ahead and with your blowtorch, be very careful and just be patient with it, and you'll eventually get little pearls of caramelized burnt sugar, and this is what we're going to sprinkle on top with the graham crackers. It'll be so yummy. So I just popped my cupcakes in the refrigerator for like 15 minutes or so, just for it to get a chance for the ganache to firm up just a little bit so it's not as loose. And then you want to take your marshmallow frosting and just build a little crown on top just like that. And then take that burnt sugar, the caramelized sugar, and this is really going to taste like the marshmallow has been roasting over a fire. It's so awesome. It's really delicious. And then take a little bit of graham cracker, just a little bit, because remember you have that graham cracker crust on the bottom of the cupcake. And then I just took the rest of the ganache and put it in another piping bag and just snip the little edge off. And just a little bit, because you don't want a huge hole. And then you're just going to go ahead and drape more chocolate ganache on top. How pretty is that, right? I'm going to finish these off and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So it's my favorite time. It's time to taste. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I hope you guys try this with your friends, your family, your kids. You know, this is something that's so reminiscent of your childhood. All the good things that are made up of how you remember being a kid and how fun it was. This is the stuff. This is all in the shape of a cupcake. And this is something that's sophisticated enough yet with the ganache and the rum. It's grown up and sophisticated enough to serve as an elegant kind of grown up, spruced up dessert for a dinner party. I know that personally when I have people over, guests over to eat with me, that I like to give them comfort food, food they're familiar with, recreating something that they know, something that'll stick to their ribs and they'll remember when they go home. So I hope you guys try this. I'm gonna go in for a bite. So here is the cupcake. It's got the graham crackers on the top and on the bottom, the rich, deep, dark chocolate, the marshmallow frosting, the caramelized sugar pearls, and more ganache on top. Can you believe that? So before I take a bite, I want to show you guys. Go ahead and disrobe this little baby. It's a naked cupcake. So right there on the bottom is that crust and then the cupcake. So I'm gonna go for a bite. That is so good. There's that soft and moist cake, and then there's that nice crumbly like crust on the bottom. It's really unique. And then you get that nice creamy luscious marshmallow frosting, and then when your teeth sink into that caramelized sugar pearl, it ties in that marshmallow with that burnt sugar taste. It tastes like a marshmallow you roasted over the fire. And then there's so much chocolate on this thing. I love chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolate? If you don't like chocolate, you're crazy. So, hope you guys try this. Thanks so much for spending time with me, you guys. This was the Squishy Monster, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!